Can you believe it's Monday already? How did it get here so fast? My goodness. I hope you all are staying warm. Let me know what the temperature is where you are. Yes, welcome. All right. Well, welcome to the Karen Smith Frazier podcast, everyone. Please, again, let me know where you're tuning in from and where you are catching the replay. Uh, and if you're watching me live during the podcast, let me know if there are any points that are hitting home. It helps me to learn more about you. And again, I thank you for being here for podcast number 59. As you may have guessed, I'm Karen Smith Frazier, and I help women during midlife identify their dreams and goals and align their actions and make confident choices so that they can create a life that truly reflects their authentic selves, who they truly are. So often we have been catering to other people's uh, lives and expectations of others, and this is a time for you. So today's topic came to mind over the last week. Between the news cycles and the horror of gun violence and the fear in its wake, I didn't feel well, and probably many of you didn't either. I'm not saying good things stopped happening in my life, but there is a deep sadness when, in my core, I believe we as human beings are a lot more capable of compassion than what we often show. The sad part is that many just don't choose to show this side of themselves. I have not given up hope, though. That's not me. So, with that as the backdrop of my week, I still had the most productive week of the new year. Let me tell you. Report updates, revisions, second revisions, podcasts, masterclass, and prep for all of the above. That left other areas a bit more out of balance than I desired. In other words, I didn't reach all of my goals. And with everything going on, that seems like a reasonable outcome of the week. And on a couple of them, I was getting close to saying those words that I feel like are a judgment on myself. Can you guess what those words might be that I want to avoid? I quit. Those are the words. I quit. I imagine how satisfying that could be if you're leaving a job that you absolutely despise. But for me, it had to do with a goal I had been unable to reach for 5 or 6 months. And I'm very aware of the circumstances that are making it so hard to reach this goal. And the goal has to do with that little ring on my watch, that active calorie circle. Now I've made a few reels about it this year, and a couple of nights ago, the thought came to mind that maybe I should lower my goal. The thought of it just was like, what? Lower your goal for this? Well, that was my, uh, that was almost my I quit moment. And what I found is that all I really needed was a goal shift instead of quitting. And though I do believe that I quit is one of those phrases that should be used conservatively, I will admit that there are also some benefits. Now, some pros of lowering your goal include reducing your stress and anxiety. When a goal is too ambitious, that sounds so weird to say too ambitious for the moment, it can cause overwhelming pressure. So lowering it makes it more manageable reducing the stress. Now, this may be when you can get some help, creating the smaller goals that can be accomplished on the way to that ambitious goal. Wait, you don't have a big goal? Come on now, come on. Let's get it together. Now, doing this can increase motivation and momentum. It feels so much better to have a few wins under your belt to remind you that the goal you selected is worth the effort and that you're getting closer. Another pro can be that adjusting your goal can help decrease stress and prevent burnout. It can also be a way to actually take a step back to align your actions with what you say you really want. So often we toe the line for years, following the goals and dreams others have had for us for so long that we need to stop everything for a minute to figure out what we truly want ourselves. This can be quite a powerful moment. Ultimately, lowering a goal can lead to happiness, especially if your lowered expectations relieve you from carrying burdens that were not meant for you in the first place. Let me repeat that. They relieve you from carrying burdens that were not meant for you in the first place. Yes, I am talking to you, my people pleasers. Now, some cons of lowering your goal include, well, only you know your situation. But just be aware that your state of mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your physical health should be considered before making any big decisions that may have unexpected or harmful consequences. And some of the cons include lack of growth and lack of desire to grow. As long as we are breathing, something in us is pulling us to grow, learn, and create. And if fear is keeping you from doing those things and you find yourself quitting before you start, this isn't helpful for you. And it's also not helpful for those who are waiting for you to show up in their lives. Lower satisfaction with the task you are doing and lack of desire to get better is another con. Have you ever been in a class and you realize that you've been the smartest one in that group for a while and the work is not challenging anymore? This could be academic or in sports or the arts too. I feel like I have somewhere to grow when there are people in the room who have succeeded in that thing I'm learning how to do better. Another con can be, well, I'll just say this. Please don't make decreased ambition and less growth one of your goals. Please, no, don't do it. Now, I quit can also lower self-esteem. Smaller goals are generally easier to hit. So you feel like, okay, I can hit these smaller goals. Yay, I got this. But it can also send a message to yourself that you are incapable of bigger tasks. This may become worse if you start noticing that you have a pattern of lowering standards whenever things get challenging. And the key here is that if you notice, then you can do something about it. All right, so that's a win, okay? And finally, cons of quitting can lead to missed opportunities, especially personal development. That feeling of, why am I in this room? Look at these people, can be transformed to, why should I not be in this room? Look what I have to offer. And just be open to learn and ready to learn in that room. Don't quit before you start. Don't quit before you enter. Ultimately, the best strategy is often goal shifting. Goal shifting, adjusting the goal to be realistic while still pushing your limits rather than giving up on achievement altogether. So for me, regarding that activity goal I had the other day, by the end of the day, I had surpassed the goal shift goal without changing any settings on my watch or anything. Now, mentally, I made the adjustment because I've already envisioned myself hitting the real goal more consistently by the end of the month. I'm going to just check and see if there are any comments. Facebook. Cool. Thanks for joining in. Yes, lowering goals can be freeing and even recharging. Thanks, Mitch. So, are we going to do a goal shift or I quit? It's all how you look at it. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, but more importantly, I encourage you to take a moment to think about a goal you may have lowered or quit during the month of January. If quitting means ridding yourself of distraction from bigger goals, by all means, go for it. Either way, take a moment to notice if you're setting patterns for yourself. I am hoping that they are the ones that grow you, not shrink you. Take care of yourselves this week. Be safe outside, wherever you are. The world is waiting for that light of yours. Unleash it so I can break out my shades. Take care.